Here now with reaction, someone who had the chance to make his voice heard on today's budget resolution, Republican Representative Mike Flood of the great state of Nebraska. Representative, great to see you. Thank you so much for your time here. So we heard this morning from Speaker Johnson, Majority Leader Thune. You and your colleagues, I know, in the House voted on this budget resolution. What are your thoughts on the legislation as a whole? Do you think there are enough spending cuts? Because we know that has been such a key point of contention.
Well, first of all, I'm excited. I'm relieved. I did not want to leave Washington. I did not want to begin Holy Week without getting this done. I think this sets us on a very good path to get all of this finished up by Memorial Day so that we can get on to other issues like the Farm Bill and the budget and regular order. But yeah, you're right. The House, I think, is very committed to a minimum of $1.5 trillion in spending. There were some concerns, and there are some concerns that the Senate doesn't share our enthusiasm for that as much. But I think at the end of the day, we sent a very clear message to the Senate. Our Speaker did, our Majority Leader did, our Majority Whip. We expect real cuts to the budget because America needs to cut its budget. We're $36 trillion in debt.
Well, Congressman, you represent a district that includes cities, including my hometown of Lincoln, full disclosure, as well as more rural areas. We know Nebraska is a state that relies so heavily on farming, which is also being impacted by this tariff war. What type of feedback are you getting from constituents?
Well, actually, I've gotten some good news. Yesterday, I had Nebraska pork producers in my office. They are ecstatic that Vietnam's relationship with the United States is changing. They said the 0% tariff that is going to allow us to sell pork, which is the main source of protein for the 100 million people of Vietnam. So I think there's victories interlaced with all of this. Our farm products are the best in the world. We feed the world. And now we're going to be going to Vietnam. I mean, that's a victory for the United States. That's a victory for Nebraska, pig farmers and farmers everywhere.
Well, Representative, what about soybean farmers? We know that's a big product there in Nebraska, and that's also a major export to China. And we're seeing these now sky-high tariffs.
Well, you know, China on and off is always playing games with us. We have soybean crush plants that are going up all over my district, billion-dollar plants, and now we have new markets across the world. You know, what we don't sell to China, we can sell to other countries with good populations. So, yes, there's going to be trade-offs here. Let's also be honest. China is the one country in the world that wakes up every single day and they want to end America's status as the world's sole superpower. They are not our friends. They are spying on us. They are buying farmland around military bases. They're engaging in cyber attacks. We're not dealing with people that are stand-up individuals. We're dealing with a Communist Party regime that is out to get America. And I'd rather do business with Vietnam. I'd rather do business with all these other countries in the world where we have this shared interest in both countries doing well. So if China ends up the target of President Trump's trade efforts, I say go for it. We're in it. Let's win it. Let's be a country that makes things again, and let's sell our products around the world and leave China alone. Let them figure out how to handle it.
Well, Representative, do you think there's a point where the pressure is just too much, or do you think this war between essentially the U.S. and China now just continues to escalate?
Well, I'll tell you what, I put my money on Donald Trump. He is the guy with the plan. He's the one that has engaged in these tariff situations. If anybody's going to bring China to the table for a fair trade deal, it's Donald Trump. He's already proven that he can get the world's attention. And if he brings China to the table and we ultimately can trust them, which is a long question mark for me. But then obviously we'll be back in business with them. But they have been ripping off America for a long time. It's about time we get down to business with all these other countries that are ready to do business with us and engage in fair trade. And if the Chinese want to play chicken, my money's on Donald Trump. He will ultimately win that, and we will be successful as a country.
Well, we certainly hope that is the case. Representative Flood, you're here. I have to talk to you about your town hall last month. It certainly made national news. Let's listen to a bit of what happened.
President Trump is interested in fair trade. As we saw during his first
All right. So, Representative, kudos to you, first of all, for doing this town hall, because many of your colleagues opted to cancel or take their town halls online. You were there. You appeared in person. My question for you, are you planning any more town halls? And what is your strategy with the people back home who voted you into office as we move forward? Because obviously, we heard there's some criticism and yelling, but, you still obviously have support. There are a lot of people in Nebraska who absolutely support what President Trump is doing. How are you navigating this?
Well, I am going to have more town halls. When I got elected, I said I would always hold town halls. I'm intending to do one in Lincoln, Nebraska, which is my largest city in my district and our state capital. I'm going to do another one somewhere in the district. At the end of the day, I ran for office because I believe I have ideas with the help of a community that resonate with the American people. And if you don't stand in the town square and engage the people that you represent, I think it's easy to lose touch. And I never want to sever that relationship. I think there's value in having this back and forth. Obviously, some people were animated. There were a lot of people in the audience that either supported Donald Trump or just wanted answers to some of their questions. I did take some very good points away from this meeting. I took away that the concern about veterans benefits and the Veterans Affairs system. I'm looking into that. I got a standing ovation, which you don't see here, for my support for Ukraine, my unqualified support for Ukraine. So there are things we agree on. And I was very clear when I started this. I told the law enforcement that were there, it's my preference that nobody get removed from the town hall. It's my preference that the people who want to raise their voice, that want to make their voices heard, let them express themselves. This is America. That's their right. It's my job to listen, and it's my job to do the very best job I can, given the input of everybody, Republicans, Democrats, independents. I don't just represent one party. I represent everybody, and that's why I put myself in that position, and I will do it again 2 more times this year, and I will do it with a smile on my face.
That really, truly is so nice to hear. Again, kudos to you for still holding those town halls, even when everyone may not agree with you. Representative Mike Flood of Nebraska, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.